Welcome to my channel. Definition of communication. Communication is the act of conveying meanings from one entity or group to another through the use of mutually understood signs, symbols, and semiotic rules. Communication is the act of transferring information from one place, person or group to another. Every communication involves, at least, one sender, a message and a recipient. These include our emotions, the cultural situation, the medium used to communicate, and even our location. Communication skills. Communication skills are abilities you use when giving and receiving different kinds of information. Some examples include communicating ideas, feelings, or what's happening around you. Communication skills involve listening, speaking, observing, and empathizing. It is also helpful to understand the differences in how to communicate through face-to-face interactions, phone conversations, and digital communications, like email and social media. Communication and communication skills. The difference. Communication is the exchange of ideas and using variety of media, from spoken words to body language, written text to painted symbols, song to dance, etc. Whereas communication skills are the tools we develop to improve and make more efficient of that which exchange the ideas. Forms/types of communication. Types of communication can be grouped under these categories. 1. Communication type based on channel. 2. Communication type based on style and purpose. Type based on channels. Communication based on channels of communication will give two subcategories, namely 1. Verbal. 2. Non-verbal. Verbal communication is subcategorized into oral, written forms. Verbal communication, spoken and written. This involves the use of language and words for passing on the intended message. Generally, verbal communication means communication in the form of spoken words only, but, in the context of types of communication, verbal communication can be in the spoken or the written form. Written communication involves any kind of exchange of information in the written form. For example, emails, texts, memos, letters, reports, SMS, posts on social media platforms, documents, handbooks, posters, flyers, etc. Oral communication employs the spoken words, either direct or indirect, as a communication channel. It could be made on a channel that passes information in only one form, i.e. sound. You could converse either face-to-face, or over the phone, or via voice notes or chat rooms, etc. Classroom oral presentation and discussions, dramatization, poetry recital are examples. Nonverbal communication. In this type of communication, messages are relayed without any transmission of words. The messages here are wordless. This form of communication mainly aids verbal communication. It supplements verbal communication with gestures, body language, symbols, and expressions. Types of nonverbal communication. 1. Communication by colors. 2. Communication by posters. 3. Communication by postures. 4. Communication by gestures. 5. Communication by signs and symbols. Improving nonverbal communication. Maintain eye contact with the speaker. Smile and show interest. Use tone or voice that matches your message. Lean forward to show speaker your interest. Nod to show that you agree. Shake your head to show that you don't agree. Communication type based on style and purpose. This type of classification gives subcategories as formal and informal communication. Formal communication refers to exchange of information officially. The flow of communication is controlled and is a deliberate effort. This makes it possible for the information to reach the desired target without any hindrance. The following are types. Vertical, the information or data flows up and down the organizational structure. Horizontal, this is the communication between two similar levels of the organization. Diagonal, this is the communication across the cross-functional levels of employees from various departments of the organization. Characteristics of effective communication. Ensuring effective communication to get the desired effect is not easy to come by. Knowing the characteristics of effective communication is a step in achieving effective communication, especially in the teaching-learning process. The following are some characteristics of an effective communication. Completeness. Effective communication is complete, that is, the receiver gets all the information he/she needs to process the message and take action. Conciseness. Conciseness is about keeping the message to a point. This is more about the content of your message rather than its length. Even a short essay can include irrelevant or redundant information. Conciseness helps the receiver focus, for example students, on what is important, speeds up the processing of information, and caters for improved understanding. Time is an essential parameter in communications. Concreteness. A concrete message is specific, tangible and vivid. It is supported by facts and figures for enhanced trustworthiness. It helps your listeners gain an overview of the broader picture. Concreteness deals the risk of misunderstanding, fosters trust and encourages constructive criticism. Messages should have data that suitably backs it up. A tangible argument is always easy to understand. Courtesy and consideration complement each other in effective communication. Courtesy means respecting the receiver's culture, values, and beliefs, i.e., crafting a message that is genuinely polite and unbiased. The presenter should try his best to be honest, respectful, considerate, open, and polite to the receiver of the information. The message, when supplemented with proper care and kindness, will definitely find an audience. Clearness. The clearer your message, the easier it gets for the receiver to decode it according to the original intent. While this is important, most communication pitfalls originate from a lack of clarity. To deliver effective communication, start with a clear goal and accurate thoughts. Clear communications build on exact language use and concrete words, to reduce ambiguities and confusion in the communication process. Effective communication is about delivering information unambiguously, so that the receiver can decode it correctly. Correctness. Correct grammar and syntax guarantee increased effectiveness and credibility of your message in the classroom. Formal errors might affect the clarity of your message, bring about ambiguity and raise doubts. They might also have a negative impact on the overall perception of the message, which could be seen as sloppy or negligent. Consideration. Effective communication takes into account the receiver's background and points of view. If your message sounds as disrespectful, the emotional reaction of the receiver might affect the perception of your message. Also, tailoring your message to your audience, learners, for example by using argumentations and examples which are relevant to their experience, makes it easier for them to process the contents. Thanks for watching.